Rogers Show, starring Roy Rogers, King of the Cowboys, Trigger, his golden palomino, and Dale Evans, Queen of the West.
They were known as the King of the Cowboys.
Nice shooting, Dale.
And the Queen of the West. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans shared fame and popularity on the big screen, the radio, and that brand new medium of television.
A man can't rest on the reputation he's made, Pat. He has to keep on making it every day of his life.
In their make-believe Western world, good triumphed over evil.
Happy trails to you.
And their audiences were always rewarded with a happy ending.
Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
But behind the smiles, they were dealing with a personal tragedy. A story they shared eventually and courageously with the American public.
In 1950, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans had a precious little girl by the name of Robin Elizabeth. She was only on this earth 2 very short years. She had Down syndrome. And Dale and Roy both were so inspired by her brief life on this earth that not only did they dedicate their lives to adopt many, many other children, but it also inspired Dale to write a book.
That story, the birth and death of their Down syndrome daughter, Robin Elizabeth, was immortalized in a groundbreaking bestseller, Angel Unaware.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Connie Kaler, who read the book when she was 10 years old, decided to go into nursing. While still a student in 1972, as part of World Campus Afloat, she traveled with a medical team to New Guinea and Kowloon and developed a strong desire to help children who are underserved. She eventually went into hospice care, and she never forgot the story of Robin Elizabeth Rogers. Today, led by Dale Evans' courageous example, she has a dream to provide hospice and respite care to the thousands of families who need this support. She and others will build a facility in Fort Worth, Texas, the same city where Dale Evans is honored as a member of the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame.
Dale Evans was inducted into the Cowgirl Hall of Fame here in Fort Worth, Texas in 1995, and we will be celebrating her 100th birthday this coming year.
It's particularly fitting that Dale Evans' most enduring legacy will be realized in Fort Worth, a city known for its generosity and ability to meet a challenge. For the past 35 years, Connie has called Fort Worth home. She and her husband, Bill Kaler, Provost Emeritus at Texas Christian University and former board president of the Fort Worth Independent School District, are both deeply committed to serving the community and have lent their time and support to a variety of philanthropic causes. But with Angel Unaware, Connie is filling a need that has heretofore gone unaddressed. There are hundreds of pediatric hospices throughout the world. For example, in London and throughout the United Kingdom, there are 90 such facilities. But in the United States, where there is no financial incentive to either build or operate them, there are only 3.
Angel Unaware will be the first freestanding pediatric hospice facility in the state of Texas. And it will be here in Fort Worth.
Connie has assembled an unparalleled team of medical professionals and advisors who understand what is needed and why.
Sometimes it happens where there's
Dr.
an
Terry
unexpected
Weinman specializes in
complication
neonatal and perinatal
baby passes
medicine
away quite
at Harris Methodist and Baylor All Saints. She is also the medical director for Angel Unaware. In her 25 years of experience as a doctor, there is one challenge for which she has yet to find an answer.
But I continue to struggle with how we care for families who don't get to take their baby home to get better.
When we talk about palliative care, we're talking about
Terry Boggs is the chaplain at Cook's Children's Medical Center. Pediatric palliative care is for him about empowering and ministering to parents as well as a child.
It's when we are going to see how we might best tend to care for, support, nourish the parents and this child to have as full and as rich life as possible.
And Dr. Todd Pearson is Director of Palliative Care at Cook Children's Medical Center in Fort Worth.
And so how can we help them cope with uncertainty? How can we help them hope for the best? How can we help them attend to the present? And then how do we help them prepare for the rest, including worst-case scenarios?
But the most powerful argument for a facility to meet the needs of this situation comes from the families who lived it. Their stories are about the love of a child. Dory and Ethan Kirk lost their baby soon after birth. The healthcare team who took care of baby Cale was wonderful, but when it came to communicating with his parents, they found it difficult to share the reality of what was happening.
We were still not getting it, so they insisted that we went to radiology with him and observed that, and I think automatically we knew that this was beyond our help. This wasn't, this could go no further.
There are times when all of us know that it might be more beneficial, it might be more higher quality of life for this child and for this family to be in a setting that is not in an intensive care.
To some degree, there is a sense of how have we failed? And that's a difficult thing, I think, for many physicians. It's contrary to our training. And then in our training, we don't have training about how do you have difficult conversations. We don't have training about exquisite end-of-life care.
The Kirk family faced many hard decisions. They wanted the best medical care possible for their newborn son.
So we kind of ignored it until we were approached, hey, you guys, your insurance doesn't really want to pay for you to be here anymore. We can't do much for you, and they're pretty much paying your rent.
But the tragedy of Cale's medical condition was compounded when someone, seeing the infant's gaunt physical appearance, reported the Kirks to Child Protective Services.
It was really embarrassing and really hurtful because people just don't understand that babies do pass away this way and children do pass away this way. And I think it's just really uncomfortable for everybody to know, even people like Child Protective Services, not just the people who call Child Protective Services. So I think it's just really unfamiliar territory for everybody.
We have 4 children. Our 3rd child was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in 2005.
Tony and Karen Davenport watched as little daughter Alicia fought a battle for 3 years. There were trips to the hospital, trips to intensive care, trips back home. At the age of 5, during what would be her last time in intensive care, Alicia's doctors gave her parents a grim assessment. Prepare for Alicia to die soon.
And that's what we prayed for. I mean, we were adamantly, praying that, Lord, give us a few months at home or somewhere, somewhere where we wouldn't be here for this. If that's your will, give us some time, some good times, right, where we can do this in a way, right, that we think would be more appropriate and better for her.
What would be ideal is to have a place that parents could stay with their child in an inpatient setting, in a home-like environment, and have all of the comforts of home, all of the resources for spiritual support, for caring for their other siblings, for meal preparations, for grief support, for family support, to have all of that in one location.
When Alicia passed, she passed at night, and that morning when we woke up, she was no longer with us. And so we went and got our children, and just Karen and myself, right, and our 3 children who were there, were able to have a moment together by ourselves to process what had happened. I mean, to start to process. Really, that's a long process. It takes a long time to process this sort of thing. But it allowed us to have that moment of calm and quiet where we could communicate with our children in a very private and personal way that we would not have been able to do in ICU.
Angel Unaware will offer comfort to families. It will provide respite to families who have never taken a vacation and siblings whose entire lives have been built around a critically ill brother or sister.
Many of them are wheelchair bound. They are dependent on tube feeding, sometimes on a ventilator for respiratory support. And these children, many of which have very shortened lives, but can live into their late teens, early 20s. Their caregivers are their families.
Families like the Wiederholz of Poteet, Texas, near San Antonio. In 17 years, they've never been apart from Zachary. He's the entire focus of their family.
He was brought to us for a purpose, and I think he's fulfilled it. Our entire family, is closer because of that. We love him.
When Zachary was born, doctors said he wouldn't live more than a year. When that diagnosis proved wrong, the family had to come to terms with the fact that they were to be his caregivers. They could not bear to place him in a facility where he would sit in the hall all day long. They realized everything in their lives would have to change.
There's very few times where we can, just as a family, spend just pure family time without having, an audience per se, where we have to be on our best behavior.
Zachary has been an inspiration to them. They in turn realize he is happy and knows them. His smiles touch them deeply, from the top of their minds to the bottom of their heart.
Zachary is our rock. Zachary keeps us together.
He's actually been quite a blessing, is what we've learned, is that only special people are given children with special needs. So these children are angels, and you're actually blessed to be given a child with these challenges. And that's how we kind of make our life, our lives normal, and make it make sense of everything, because not everybody's going to be given a gift like Zachary.
The Wiederholz would love to be able to do something with their other children, 3 daughters, and know Zachary is being well cared for while they are away.
What we're talking about here is respite care. Respite means, as the word suggests, rest. These children and their parents are together 24/7, 7 days a week. There is no facility within the state of Texas that provides a secure, comfortable, home-like medical environment for these children to come and stay while their parents and perhaps other siblings in their home can get away for a needed rest.
Having a facility that not only provides pediatric specific hospice, but respite care especially, I think is tremendous. You know, many of these families are providing care for their children 24/7. And although they would never describe it as a burden, it's incredibly stressful.
This is where Angel Unaware can and will make the difference.
We would love to be able to take that family, take that baby home with that family and be able to care for that baby in the home environment, but sometimes that's not a good option for a particular family.
Connie Kaler envisions a facility in which families will know both the comforts of home and benefit from specialized pediatric medical support.
It will be a home-like environment where there will be a wonderful, inviting family room, fireplace. There will be a full kitchen with dining facilities. There will be 15 suites. 10 of those are envisioned really primarily for respite care, which is rest for the parents of complex, critically ill children.
We've had lots of times where a family will say, the best thing for our child would be to bring Sammy their favorite dog. And we will say, it breaks our heart, and we say we can't do that.
Angel Unaware will welcome every aspect of a child's life and comfort, enabling them to be surrounded by all of their loved ones, including their pet.
There will be beautiful playgrounds and facilities for the children to enjoy with their families, their siblings, their beloved pets.
Angel Unaware will meet families' spiritual needs.
There will also be an ecumenical chapel where families can express their needs for spiritual support during this special time.
Their focus would be on how do we journey for as long as we can, as well as we can, in a setting that is more like home, that is more free, if you will, that is less encumbered with what normally comes in a hospital setting.
Just as Dale Evans changed lives and hearts with the story of her special daughter, Angel Unaware will change the way we care for those who are often forgotten, yet need our help most. To be sure, Angel Unaware is an aspiration of Connie's, born of passion and a vision grounded in fact. Could her aspiration, her vision, her dream turn into reality? Let me answer with another question. Can miracles happen nowadays? I think so. I hope so. Do you?